I tested 5 of the most popular amplifiers people buy in 2026. Yamaha A-S801, Denon PMA-900HNE, Sony STR-DH190, Marantz PM6007, and Fosi Audio BT20A Pro. And I made the same mistake most people do. Most people think an amplifier sounds great the moment they turn it on. That's the biggest mistake I made too. After 30 days of using these amplifiers the wrong way, I realized the real sound was hiding in plain sight. We're started with the Fosi Audio BT20A Pro, because this is exactly the kind of amplifier people underestimate, including me. On day one, I use it like most buyers do: quick setup, random speakers, cheap cables, no warm-up time, and casual listening. And honestly, it sounded fine, but nothing special. The bass felt tight but limited. The mids were clean but slightly forward, and the highs had a bit of edge that made longer sessions tiring. But after living with it for weeks, something changed. Once the amplifier had real burn-in time, proper speaker matching, stable power, and consistent listening hours, the sound opened up in a way I wasn't expecting from a compact Class D amp. The bass gained more weight and control. The mids became smoother and more natural, and the treble lost that initial sharpness, turning into a cleaner, more refined presentation. What shocked me most was how dynamic and punchy it became once I stopped rushing the setup and actually let the amplifier settle in. This is where the wrong versus right use really shows, because the Fosi BT20A Pro doesn't impress instantly, it rewards patience. After 30 days, it no longer sounded like a budget amp trying to impress. It sounded confident, balanced, and surprisingly mature, proving that many amplifiers aren't bad out of the box. They're just misunderstood by the way we use them. I thought I already knew how a Marantz amplifier should sound: warm, smooth, and musical. But I was wrong. After using the PM6007 the wrong way for weeks, I realized this amp only reveals its real character when you stop rushing it. The Marantz PM6007 is one of those amplifiers people buy expecting instant magic. And that expectation is exactly where most users go wrong. In the beginning, I treated it like a plug-and-play solution. Quick speaker hookup, short listening sessions, and no real attention to source quality or warm-up time. The sound was pleasant, but honestly, a bit closed in. The bass felt polite, the mids were smooth but slightly restrained, and the soundstage didn't have the depth Marantz is famous for. But as the days passed and the amplifier got proper burn-in, everything started to shift. The tonal balance became more natural. The mid-range opened up with better vocal separation, and instruments gained texture instead of blending together. After around 30 days of consistent use, the PM6007 transformed into the amplifier people talk about: warm without being dull, detailed without sounding sharp, and incredibly easy to listen to for hours. What really stood out was how forgiving it became with average recordings while still rewarding high-quality sources. Once I stopped rushing the setup, gave it proper speaker matching, clean power, and real listening time, the PM6007 stopped sounding like a safe mid-range amp and started sounding confident, refined, and emotionally engaging. This amplifier doesn't show off on day one. It grows into its sound, and when used the right way, it proves why so many audiophiles keep coming back to Marantz. Most people think the Sony STR-DH190 is just a basic, entry-level stereo receiver, and that assumption is exactly why they never hear what it can really do. I made the same mistake until I stopped using it the wrong way and actually gave it time to breathe. The Sony STR-DH190 is often judged within the first few hours of use, and that's where people go wrong. On day one, I treated it like a casual setup: Bluetooth streaming, average cables, short listening sessions, and no real warm-up time. And the sound felt clean but flat. The bass was there but lacked authority. The mid sounded slightly thin, and the highs had a brightness that could become fatiguing over longer sessions. But once I lived with it for weeks and used it the right way, the transformation was real. After proper burn-in, better speaker matching, and consistent listening time, the STR-DH190 began to sound far more balanced and controlled. The bass tightened up and gained more punch. The mid-range became fuller and more natural, and the treble smoothed out without losing clarity. What surprised me most was how spacious the soundstage became once the amplifier settled in. Imaging improved, vocals stood more firmly in the center, and instruments gained separation instead of competing for attention. After 30 days, This didn't sound like a cheap starter receiver anymore. It sounded confident, musical, and shockingly capable for its price. The STR-DH190 proves that it's not about how powerful or expensive an amplifier is on paper. It's about patience, setup, and letting the amplifier evolve into its true sound. I didn't expect this amplifier to change over time. I thought it was already fully refined out of the box. The Denon PMA-900HNE proved me wrong by quietly improving every single week. The Denon PMA-900HNE is the kind of amplifier people buy for its reputation. Clean power, network features, and a polished hi-fi sound. But reputation alone doesn't tell the full story. In the beginning, I used it like a finished product, not something that needed time, and the sound reflected that mindset. It was clear and detailed, but slightly stiff, with bass that felt controlled yet restrained, and a soundstage that didn't fully open up. After weeks of regular listening, proper warm-up, and stable power, the character of the amplifier slowly started to evolve. The bass gained depth and authority without becoming loose. The mid-range grew more expressive and textured, and vocals sounded more natural and lifelike. What really stood out after about 30 days was a sense of effortlessness. Dynamics improved, micro details became easier to hear, and longer listening sessions felt smoother and less fatiguing. Once the amplifier was fully settled, the PMA-900HNE stopped sounding like a technically good amplifier and started sounding emotionally engaging. It became the kind of amp you stop analyzing and simply enjoy, proving that even well-engineered amplifiers reveal their true potential only when they're used patiently and the right way. This amplifier doesn't try to impress you on day one, and that's exactly why so many people misunderstand it. The Yamaha A-S801 quietly waits for time, patience, and the right setup to reveal what it's truly capable of. The Yamaha A-S801 is often described as powerful, neutral, and studio-like, but when I first used it, I felt something was missing. Out of the box, I ran it with quick listening sessions, average sources, and no real warm-up, and the sound felt clean but a little rigid. The bass was tight but not fully extended. The mids sounded accurate yet slightly dry, and the highs were detailed but unforgiving with poor recordings. Over time, though, the character of the AS801 began to change in a way that completely shifted my opinion. After weeks of consistent use, proper speaker matching, and letting the amplifier fully warm up before listening, the sound opened up dramatically. The low end gained more body and authority. The mid-range became smoother and more natural, and the treble lost its initial hardness without sacrificing detail. What truly stood out after around 30 days was the control. Dynamics felt effortless, soundstage width increased, and instrument separation improved to the point where complex tracks felt organized instead of crowded. Once settled, the AS801 stopped sounding analytical and started sounding confident and musical, proving that this amplifier isn't cold or boring. It simply demands time and respect, used the right way. The Yamaha AS801 delivers a balanced, powerful, and emotionally satisfying sound that easily competes with far more expensive amplifiers. After 30 days of using these amplifiers the wrong way, I realized something important. Most amps don't sound bad at first, they're just misunderstood. From the Fosi Audio BT20A Pro to the Yamaha AS801, every amplifier improved once I gave it proper time, setup, and patience. Burn-in, speaker matching, and clean power mattered more than specs or price. So before upgrading or returning your amp, try using it the right way. You might already own something better than you think. If this video helped, hit like, subscribe to the channel for more real-world audio tests, and let me know in the comments which amplifier surprised you the most.